Hello everybody, I'm Savvy and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. In the last one we did a cozy house in the Highlands and I wanted to ask you guys what kind of suggestions you might have for any other builds today, or for the next video I should say. And actually got somebody that commented about doing a witch's house, or like a little house that's next to a waterfall, either in the Isle of Siptah or in the Exiled Lands. And where we are right now, as you could probably tell just from what's behind me and in front of me, is we're in the Exiled Lands still, and we are in the area of D10 on this river. So there's two waterfalls. So there's one here, down here, and then there's one up here. We're at the higher end of the river. So this is where we're going to build because I like this cliffside here, and I think having an overlook or like a balcony looking over would be great. And actually one of the other things was a balcony to look over the forest, because they also suggested that there was a forest that they wanted to have you look out onto from the balcony. So that's what we're going to do today. So what I'm going to be using is some different building pieces. So from the last one, we used a mixture of Nemedian with some Frontier, and it looked really good. I like Nemedian. Nemedian's really good. But I'm going to do something a little different this time. So instead of using any Nemedian, because we're not going to use it today, we're actually going to use Yamatai. And I'm going to be using the foundations this time. Instead of actually using the fence foundations for this one, since we want a stone foundation, we're going to be using Yamatai. So I'm going to start with the wedges here. So I'm going to go in first person, so that way it's easier to see what I'm doing. So we have a wedge piece here, and you want a flat face to face towards the cliff here, and you want it kind of up against the cliff. So you want to go 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then you can go ahead and grab your, this is too low actually. We're gonna go a little bit higher because we want to show off the stone a little bit on the foundation. So we're gonna try that again. 1, 2, 3, just like that. So you can see some of the stone here. And as we build out this way, you'll see more of it on the hill. So we're gonna take our square foundations this time and do 1 and 2. And we're actually going to keep going until we reach 4. Yeah, until we reach 4 squares. And then we're also going to take more of these wedges and build up like so. Just like that. And then we're going to just close it off a little bit. So we're going to go, so this is 1 here as well. And we're going to do a square, more squares here. And we're going to actually use more of these wedge foundations as well. So at this point, we want to have in the middle of this, so 1, 2, 3, just like that. And I went a little bit too far because this is going to be a lot smaller. This is going to be a much smaller build, so not as much space, but it's actually going to be quite roomy. So I've been able to make this, because I actually built this before, just to test out some house designs, and I come up with some cool solutions to this. So eventually you're going to want to just close it off like this. And it's pretty much a square in the middle, but we're also going to bring this out here, and instead of obviously the wedge foundations, we're going to make that square as well. So this is what it looks like so far, and we're just going to close off the rest of this and make sure that your foundations are facing the correct direction. Otherwise you'll have to go back and fix it again. We'll remove these trees here in a second as well, because they usually get in the way, and we don't like trees in our way as we're building, because they block our vision. So And as you put the foundations down, they obviously won't grow back. So we're just going to clear these out. Just clear them out, just like that. All right, now it's clear. I'm just going to get rid of this one just for more peripheral vision. Okay, so after you finish laying down the foundation here, we're actually going to move up the list here, and this is through just base Conan Exiles is insulated wood. Now, I typically don't use insulated wood because I just don't really like it that much. It's not really my favorite. My favorite's Nemedian and Stormglass. Some other things too, like black ice I'll use here and there, but I think for the forest vibes and to get more of a witchy like cottage or cabin, I think insulated wood would be better because it's cozier, I think. Well, I don't know if I consider it more cozy. I don't know. It's how you guys think of it, but again, and I'll reiterate many times throughout this video is that even if I'm using these pieces here, you do not have to use these. You can use anything else that you want. This is just the way that I'm building it, based off of the suggestion that the commenter made. And I will be taking way more suggestions for other builds as well that you guys have in mind, because I would love to hear you guys' feedback on this, and I would love to hear some more suggestions that you guys may have in regards to building in Conan Exiles. So it would mean a lot to me, it really would. Okay, so we build up our walls just like this, and I place the windows just where they are. You could place them differently. You don't have to do them like I did. And I'm going to show you the inner part of the house as well. So we want to have, obviously, a living room. And just like the last build, the cozy house that I showed you with the Nemedian, this section here is not going to be of any importance. This is just for looks, for the outside. So we're not going to utilize it. We're going to put a flat wall here, because what I'm going to do is bring, that's not what I meant to do, bring this out, just like so, to the point where we have a nice living room area. And you want to follow it just like this, and we're going to have a doorway right there. And make sure that the walls, the outside facing part of these walls, are facing inward into this room. Just because we want to keep the consistency of walking in, because it'd be kind of weird seeing like, oh, this is not, like it's a flat wall, but not really, or like it's an outside facing wall and just this one panel when the rest of them are inner facing walls that's looking at you. So instead of using insulated wooden stairs, what we're going to use in Nemedian, like I said, we're not going to use walls, floors, anything like that. We're going to use the stairs, though, because I think the stairs match quite well with the insulated wood. And these walls here, which right here in this part, or you can put one here instead, is a door frame. So we can close it like that. And this part here, you can do whatever you want with this part, because this is kind of underneath the stairs, because the way that we're building these stairs is we're going to go up one, and we're going to turn it this way. And this is going to be another 2-story home, because at the top, there's a room that we're going to build that is both a bedroom and a library. So that's the way that I have it planned out for that. So I'm not going to be using Yamatai for the second floor. The only part that I'll be consistent with Yamatai is the floor going up the stairs. So just this section right here. It kind of clips through it, but I just want to stay consistent in that. And up here, we're going to use Frontier, just because I like Frontier. Frontier is my favorite kind of flooring out of all the DLCs. So, and don't fret if you don't have these DLCs, it's fine. You can use any other vanilla type of flooring if you want to. And I'm just going to build these up as much as I can before structural integrity gets to me. So take your insulated wood walls and just build them up, just like so. And we'll work more on the inner portion of the house in just a moment, but I want to fill up the outside just to show you guys exactly how it looks like in terms of the outline of it. Now for the front here, we're going to do all windows here, all windows, just to let some more light in from the top here. I think it looks good. All right, and then on the inside, you could just fill in the rest of the gaps here by just following along the lines, just like so. And it looks like that. It looks lovely, does it not? I love it. And then wedge pieces, obviously, you want to be able to cover these because it'll look kind of weird if you just have some gaps in the ceiling when there really shouldn't be. So we're going to fill in the rest of these floors until we get to the point where we can't really cover them anymore since it'll get in the way of the stairs. But there we go. Look at that. Now I'm going to sneak in here for a second because there is a portion of the stairs here that actually isn't cooperating. So we actually want to use one of the left sloping, either the left or the right sloping inverted insulated wooden walls. And we're going to use the the right sloping walls. So that way the outer portion is facing away. So all you see is the inner from there. It doesn't really matter on that part of the stairs though, because it's a little section, so it doesn't really matter. And it's not facing outside of the house, so it doesn't matter either way. So as we are building, there's going to be a tower. We're going to do a tower in the house, but we'll get around to that in just a moment. What I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to start building the roof. And I've tried using the insulated wooden roofs, but they just don't do it for me. It might be more like the vibe in the area. It does because of the way that it's built, but I prefer the more uniformed type of roofing, which is Nemedian, which a lot of my builds may consist of Nemedian, only because Nemedian is obviously one of my favorites, but also just the roofs look more appealing to me overall. So we're going to use the Nemedian wedge sloped roofs and the Nemedian sloped roofs together, and also the inverted sloped roof corners, so that way we can connect these together. And this is how it's going to look from the start, just like this. And then we're just going to use our insulated wooden walls and use these sloping ones, the regular sloping ones, not the inverted ones. And we're going to build our roof up even higher. Now the roof's going to be a little bit different this time based off of how the house is going to look in the end. So, and each floor of this tower, you're going to skip one and put another window at the top. You could skip 2 and put another window, skip 3 and put one at the very top. It's totally up to you. It doesn't matter. Doesn't make much difference as long as it fulfills the same purpose. So this is what it looks like. So we got this even sort of roofing, but what's going to be different is instead of that sloping roof there, which I accidentally put there, so get rid of that if you already put it down. What you want to do is you want to put a regular wall here and regular walls over here. Or I'm sorry, not regular walls, fences. Now, what I think looks good is obviously matching the walls here. This is the only time where I think matching with the fences looks the best, in my opinion. So, and you want to put a door frame there, and you want to put a wall there. You could put a window there if you want to. It doesn't really matter if you do one, because you can also look out through the balcony through the window. But we could put a window here instead as well. Or actually not a window, excuse me, because we're going to close this part off right here, because what's going to happen is we have the door frame here, and we have these walls facing out here too, because these Nemedian roof pieces, the sloped roofs, are going to cover this portion, so there's no reason to put windows there or anything of the sort. And we're going to put these sloped pieces on all these corners here, since we're going to make more of a triangular shape with the roof, with the roofing pattern. And really, since I have the wall here, there's no need for the frontier floor to be there at all. So let me go ahead and grab our Nemedian roofs again, which sometimes I always go between either going into the crafting menu or I use the middle mouse button to select the piece that I'm going for. It just depends on like if I'm thinking at the moment or if I'm not. So that's how it usually goes. All right, so we actually want to continue the triangle pattern, even though this is up higher than this roof here. But trust the process. Trust the process. You'll see what happens after. So what I also mistakenly did, which we'll fix in a moment, but this is kind of a point of reference for this, but this will become important in just a moment. Because we have to, if we're making the tower, we have to make it go all the way around. We can't just make it half of a tower, because that just looked very awkward. So once we finish building up the roof, just like so, which I use the left sloping inverted insulated wood wall and another one of these insulated wooden walls, the sloped ones. And I should also use these here, because just like in the last build, I did this little lip that goes over the balcony just to cover up the top, just in case, like with the rain that's happening right now. Also, do you guys like the rain in the game? Do you guys like the rain in the game? I love the rain. That's why I love going into the Highlands, because it's just so peaceful. So peaceful to go up there. So very peaceful. I just love hearing the rain. Just like in real life, like I really enjoy hearing the rain, and it just makes things just feel much better. So with these wedge ceiling pieces, the frontier wedge ceiling pieces, I'm going to make a circle around here. And I'm purposely putting it right here, and this is going to be part of the room, just like so. And we also need to cover up these walls here, because these are not... We're not going to be able to see the roof there except for the top part. And the same goes for this, because there's no reason to see inside this little section here. But what I can do now is I can put a wall here, which I should first, because I figured it out last time, was I put the roof down first, and then I can put the wall here, which I never thought I could do at all without a mod. But I'm so glad that I was able to figure that out randomly as I was testing stuff, so. All right, and then we can build up one more, because this will go up one more time. And put the regular walls in as well. And there we go. This is how high our tower is going to be. So from the bottom, if we count the foundation, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 high. Without the foundation, it is 5 high. So that's as high as it's going to be for the tower. And then to finish off this section of the roof, we are going to use the Nemedian rooftop and face it this way. And you might want to do the roof first and then put the last wall down. Just like before, just like that. So that way it's meshed within the wall, or it's within the wall, so that way it looks more natural. It looks more natural. And then you can finish off the top by putting some frontier ceilings there. And then what I found interesting is I was looking through the fences and I'm just like, which ones work? Do the foundation work? No, that's a different color. Doesn't really work that well. And I was looking at all kinds of ones. I was even looking at crenulated walls, but they didn't match that well until I came across the stable. the stables, which is part of Riders of Hyboria. And in the stables, I saw this the lattice wall, which is the half height. It's pretty much a half wall. And I started placing these, and I'm just like, these work really well, I think. They look really good. See, look at that. That looks so good. So then I also decided to build a little chimney up here. So I took this spot. You can keep the roof here because there's no point in getting rid of it because it'll just have a hole. This is for looks on the outside. So I took the sloped walls, I took the regular wall, and I built up 2, just like so. Make sure that the outer facing is facing outward, just like that. And this can go there. And then you could put a flat roof piece here. It doesn't matter which one you use because I'm going to use, not these actually. I'm actually going to use the regular insulated wooden fence. I'm not going to use a different one. And there we go. And I was looking through all the braziers. So if you go into decorations, you can go into lights. And there's all kinds of lights here with DLCs and even vanilla. And this is one of the vanilla ones, the iron brazier. And what you can do, and I was trying to find one that has like the most smoke coming out of it, just for it to make sense. This is the best one that I could find, so I placed it smack dab in the middle. And you can see the smoke coming out sort of, and the flame. And if you look back, it kind of works, but not as efficiently, but that's the best I could do. There's probably modded lights that you can use that makes it better, but that's as good as it's going to get, at least for vanilla purposes. All right, so we finished pretty much the base of the house. Now we got to work on the other section of the outside portion of the house, which is the porch. So we're going back to building pieces. I'm not going to use Yamatai for the floors on the outside because when I think of it as a porch, especially if it's like a witch's hut or like a cottage or something, I'm thinking more wood. So I'm going back to the stable because I really like the stable ceilings just because of the way the wood is, which is really nice. Now this might be a little difficult to figure out exactly how the wood is facing because it's kind of tricky trying to flip it around like so. So I wouldn't really bother with it that much unless you want to take the time to do so. It's not really worth doing at the time, so I'm just going to randomly place these down. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go all the way around, not all the way around the house, but around the left side of the house. And I'm going to have the wood face this direction, which faces the same way as the flooring on the inside. And we just keep going around here until we reach this corner, and we're going to bring out the wedges again. And we want to complete this little section here too. So I kind of wish that for Yamatai that the fence foundations actually were stone as well, but they're not. So I decided to match the foundations. I took the fence foundations and I just decided to incorporate them into the support for the porch here that goes all the way around, just like so, until we reach this point. And then, just like with the top of the tower, I use the half walls from the stable building blocks, and I just go ahead and place these down and make sure that the arrow is pointing outside. The outside facing fence is facing outside, outwards. And we just go all the way around until we're done with the outer portion. And then what we do is we're going to take our stairs. We're going to take our Nemedian stairs again. We're going to place those down here. Go back to Yamatai, and we're going to use the sloping walls, both right and left sloping walls. Which we're going to use the right sloping wall for this side and the left sloping wall for this side. So that way the porch is now complete. It looks really good too. And some lights that I'm deciding to put out here too is the hanging brazier, this one, the Turanian brazier that goes on the wall, because I could just hang it a little bit above the doorway, just like that. And then I can go around the back here and I could bring it up a little bit higher in the back, just like so. And I could put one there too. And the lights kind of come around. Oh, it stopped raining. The lights do come around here, especially when it gets darker, and it'll cover up pretty much the light. You don't need a light here that much. You might need to, depending on how dark it is, because I know in the Highlands it gets pretty dark at night. But yeah, that is pretty much the build of this lovely house. But what I'm going to do this time, and I'm going to speed it up, is I'm going to go ahead and do the furnishing of the house. So I will show you guys the furnishing, and then at the end, I will show off what I've actually done with everything. And I'll give you a full tour of it. So I will see you guys after the speed build of the furnishing has been completed. All right, so I have completed. All right, so I have completed the furnishing of the house, and I cannot wait to show you guys what it looks like. I know that it was sped up, so you guys kind of got some glimpses as to what I was putting around, but let me give you a full tour of the house. So nothing much on the outside. I kind of want to leave the outside plain because the inside is what we're really after. So let me go ahead and we'll walk up here, and let me get rid of my HUD real quick here. All right, my HUD's gone. All right, cool. All right, so let's head up here, and before we actually head inside, we're gonna go around the porch here. Would be probably nice to maybe put a table here or something, but like I said, I wanted to keep it plain. But look, you can still see among the forest here, and you can see the stream down there. You can hear the waterfall nearby. It's really, really pretty. But let's go ahead and head on inside. So, as you walk in, you have a lovely small living room with some decorations here. Got some pottery on the wall. You know, you have your shelving. You have your fireplace here, which is the Nemedian fireplace. I really love it. I love the Nemedian fireplace. Got a rug here to kind of bring it all together. Sitting area here so you can get kind of warm next to the fire. It was kind of hard to try to figure out if I could put one here. I probably could, but it'd be more of a tight squeeze. So I decided to put it in the corner there where it would fit better. We have some tapestry here, which I think was nice to fill up the walls there. And got some other paintings and some other knickknacks on the walls here. I like this. This one, when I saw these, I was like, yes, I'm going to put one on the wall right now. And some symmetry going on as well, because we like symmetry here. Savvy likes symmetry. All right, so we're going to go on to the left door. And in here is our storage room. So we have a lot of storage in here, all kinds of different crates and chests and everything. So we have a lot of crates in the corner. We have a freezer here, which probably would be better in the kitchen as well, but I'd say it's more of a storage space. We have the specified versions of storage as well for like plants, wood, stone, all that cool stuff. And in this is like a closet, but for armor placement instead. So what I'm going to do is from the old armor that I had on before, I'm just place the armor I had on in there. I don't have the pants though, because I don't really like the pants. But there you go. And then you can put the armor on the mail as well if you want. So kind of a closet there with the storage. So let's head on out of here. And we're gonna, some of these have doors, some of them don't, just because of like, I guess for storage, I prefer to have a door just because it's better protected. But if you're going into the kitchen, I mean, who cares? So in here's the kitchen. So we have our beautiful stove, improved stove here, a fermentation barrel. Got some wine shelves here from the, when they were made from the fermenting some wine. And then we have a nice table here with a lot of bowls and cups and a wine basket as well, and some potions here on the table too. So, really nice. As you saw probably in the speed part of it when it sped up, I was trying to put the cake there, but it wouldn't let me. For some reason, like I guess the table wasn't big enough. But yeah, I got some paintings here as well, some pictures of some people's really nice builds for one of the past competitions that existed in the game. But last but not least, we head upstairs to the library/bedroom, which is my favorite room of the entire place. Because look, we have, so I sucked it up and I got the library stuff that was here. It's not there anymore since I already got it. Now there's like this Chieftain of the North stuff, which I think is pretty cool looking. And some of these have changed as well. So we have the dungeon master and all that. But one of these was actually the library stuff, which came with the lectern, or the reading stand, and the bookshelves as well, which changes if you wait a little bit. It will actually cycle through different ones. Um, but yeah, so we have some shelves here as well, some lower shelves so that we can look out the window so it doesn't block anything. Metal skull, decor jar, alembic, the Dark Queen, which would make sense if you're, a witch. That would make sense. And when you interact with this thing, you actually do an emote where you're just reading the book, which is really cool. We have the token of remembrance, paper, and a petrified egg. Because, some odds and ends stuff like witches do for their spells and all that. And over here is where, all the reading happens. We have the illusionist manual. We also have the illusionist mirror with when you get close to it, it starts to glow red and does this cool little effect. Got some other knickknacks like drinking horn and earthenware jug, and journals, scrolls, all kinds of stuff, parchment papers, and even some of the books here. I filled in some of the spaces with the bookshelves, and I put some other like decorative books and papers around too. And here's the bed. So the bed's really nice. I like it. It looks really cute. I put some pillows on here as well. This is the Argosian bed, which I like a lot. But one of the coolest things is there's a furniture piece. There's two of them that are actually hidden doors. One of them is this chest, or not really a chest, but this wardrobe, and the other one is a bookshelf. So when I open up the bookshelf, look, and this leads out to the balcony. And you can look out onto the balcony from there. It looks so cool from up here. It really does. You can see the forest from up here. You can see the mountains in the distance. It just looks really good. And, the ceiling here protects you from the rain as well. So, really nice. Also, I accidentally got rid of it didn't get rid of the HUD, but yep, it's really cool. So you can go in and out that way. And I think it looks nice because, wardrobe here could be pretended like all my clothes are in there and, it's by the bed, so it makes sense. I think this turned out to be really good. And I'm going to show you guys just a couple other angles real quick. So this is what it looks like from above. If we go up high, this is what it looks like from above. Look how small it is actually. Like, it looks so much smaller on the outside than it does on the inside, but I've made use of the space. And it's by the waterfall too, which I think is really, really cute. And if you want to, you can always build a bridge if you want to build across that way instead of having to travel along the river there, across the river to get to the other side. But I think the way it is it's just fine the way it is. And this is what it looks like from down below as well. It looks castle-like, to be honest, from this angle. Not gonna lie. I like it. I do like it a lot. But if you guys did enjoy this, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. And if you have other suggestions as well for other builds in Conan Exiles that you want me to do, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well, because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. I have been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. See you later.